All right, y'all. Today I'm gonna tell you guys about this deal behind us, how you can buy deals and still get bent, which kind of happened on this one. A lot of guys online talking about their wins. I could sit here and talk about my wins. My real estate team does great. We've got flips that are doing great, but I think there's more to learn from the losses. That's why I like to talk about my losses. So if anybody's wondering, we are making a decent amount of money. I just don't want to get on here and just talk about wins all the time. 4 years ago, I bought that house right up there, that white one. Then I bought that house, then I bought a couple around this street, and long story short, bought this property here. This was like, I was really eager to buy this because it's sitting vacant. It'd been sitting vacant. I'm gonna tell you guys a funny story here in a second. It'd been sitting vacant for a while, and anyways, long story short, I called him for like 6 months, never got back with me. Finally, door knocked him, didn't answer. Door knocked him again, he answered, ended up buying the deal. $40,000, bought this whole block from this street all the way to the other street, which was a pretty good deal because these are commercial lots, zoned central business district. And long story short, I've been sitting on them and have done nothing with them for the last year and a half, 2 years. 22 months is what it's been, so just under 2 years. Let me tell you guys a funny story real quick. So the city's pissed me off, which I'll tell you guys why here in a second. They put me in a sour spot. And so I decided, and this is a little petty of me, but I decided that I wasn't going to mow the yard until they gave me a citation, and then I would come over and mow it, which really isn't fair to my neighbors, but that's me getting payback and not having to mow the yard as much. And so they gave me a citation one day, and I don't know, it was like a Sunday afternoon. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go mow the yard because I like mowing sometimes. We've got 58 units, we can't mow them all, but this one's close to my house. I was like, I'm gonna mow the yard. So I come out here, the grass is like up to here. I start mowing this thing. I'm hitting it, I got my music on, or probably had like a podcast in, I'm mowing, everything's going great. So a dude starts coming down, right down here on a bike. And I'm looking at the dude, and I'm coming up right here on my mower. And I literally had an accident. I ran straight, look, you can see it's all cut up. I ran straight into this. And I'm not kidding, I jolted out of my seat, hit the freaking steering column. The back wheels on the mower came up, boom, sat back down, and I just look up. I was dazed. This guy looks at me and laughs, and hey, I hit this going max speed, whatever that is on my riding lawnmower. Laughs, keeps going. Wild. Anyways, it's like the perfect time to tell that story, and now that we'll never be at this property again. So anyways, I was eager to buy this property. I bought this property, $40,000. Let's walk up over here. So it came with these lots here, came with this beautiful garage. It's been sitting vacant forever. It came with this house on the corner, which is in horrible shape. And I've had squatter issues over here, which you guys can see that squatter issues are unfortunately not new to me. We got another squatter video coming out. I don't know which one comes out sooner, but we've had a lot of squatters recently. And so immediately I had an offer from like right about here all the way to this other side. So just this lot here for like $37,000. So I was like, I'm gonna make my money back on this deal. And then I've got this one free and clear. And I sold it before we were even under contract. I was gonna close on it and double close it, and I was gonna sell it. And so worked out pretty good. Then I find out we have to do what's called a quiet title. Something was wrong with the deed, would do quiet title. That took 120 days. Well, by the time the quiet title was over, were they staring at us? Yeah. I'm sure people are like, what is this guy doing with the camera? Yeah. By the time the quiet title was over, I hit the guy up, the developer that wanted to buy this lot. He's like, I'm not interested anymore. But I'm a man of my word. And so I closed on the deal. Didn't necessarily want to. It was one of those closings that I was like, are we getting stared at by everybody?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. They love it.
Are they laughing? So anyways, I closed on the deal. I wasn't very happy. I mean, this was one I just didn't know what I was gonna do with it. I knew it was somewhat of a deal, but I told the seller I would, so I closed on it. And so, fast forward, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do a seller finance. I'm gonna sell this thing. Tried to sell it. Market was pretty hot at the time. Ended up getting it under contract. Long story short, that falls through. And then I decided, you know what? I'm just gonna put this on the side. I only paid 40 grand for it. I'm gonna put it on the side, and I'm gonna come back to it when I'm not as busy because we had a bunch of deals going on. I was like, oh, can't go wrong with this deal. Which is always the famous last words. Which I really didn't go that wrong. So anyways, 3 months turns into 6, turns into whatever. I had some like low offers on the house here. I wasn't gonna take it. And before we knew it, we were in like 2024 at this point. Bought this 22 months ago today. Or not today, 22 months ago from this month. It's August, 2025. And so, you see, we got this house here. They condemned the house. That's fun. The city's been real fun to deal with here. Thanks, City of Choctaw, if we got anybody over here. But I had some squatter issues. And so anyways, it's kind of like a stepchild project of mine. When you buy a lot of projects, you're always gonna have one that's just kind of like a stepkid, this was it. And so I'm paying holding costs, a couple $100 a month, really not that big of a deal. And then I decided I was going to split the lots up. I was gonna split them, and what's the side of his truck say?
Landscape service.
So I was gonna split the lots up, and from there, try and sell one off. I went to split them. The city wanted the garage demolished. So long story short, I'm like spinning my wheels on this. And then finally I just take it off the market. I just sit on it, forget about it. And then about 8 months ago, I finally decided, okay, you know what? Slow down a little bit. Let's build duplexes. Because if you look, so on this side over here, I'll show you guys real quick. We have 2 fourplexes on this side. And then we have a 4-plex down there. And so you would think highest and best use in an area that is up and coming, that a lot of work being done around here. I'll tell you guys how much money we made today or lost.
I bet you guys ask if they want to do these trees.
Are they coming back around?
Yeah.
Okay. So anyways, highest and best use I thought was multifamily. And I was thinking 2 fourplexes because this is a super large lot, super long. I was thinking 2 fourplexes. I go to the city and they're like, nope, you can only do two duplexes, or you can do like a liquor store or some other bullshit, honestly. And that pissed me off, and so we just kept on waiting. I just put it to the side again. And then I came back and I was like, okay, I'm actually gonna pursue it this time. I've got time. And the city decided to put a moratorium on all multifamily. So they decided, can't do multifamily anymore. Well, these lots are really only multifamily lots. There's not enough frontage to do commercial around here. It doesn't make any sense. I'm not gonna put a liquor store here. They already have a gas station around the corner that has way better frontage. No commercial is gonna do well right here. Plus, I own houses in this neighborhood, and I don't want a freaking commercial property in this neighborhood. It just doesn't make sense. And so, went back and forth. They decided that we couldn't do, there's a sewer line clean out. We couldn't do multifamily, and I listed it for sale again. And long story short, put it under contract last month for $65,000, which really isn't that bad. I bought it for $40,000, but you got to think I've got holding costs for the last 22 months on this deal, and I've got survey costs. I got a survey done, and then just headache. I've had to deal with it for the last 22 months and mow this thing. And so I'll show you guys. Here's the check. Wait, let me make sure that I don't have my personal info here. Show you guys. I can only show you guys what you can see, but you can see 8/18. That's today. $28,508. And so, if I was a bullshitter, I'd tell you guys I made $28,000 today, but I didn't. I made $6,000, which really could be worse. You know what I mean? We didn't lose money on the deal. We're kind of in like a soft market. I can still say I've not lost money on a deal yet. I'm sure it's going to happen, and I'm not getting egotistical. I mean, it happens to everybody, you know what I mean? But I can still say I didn't lose money on this deal. We had 22 months of holding cost. We had to mow it half that time. We had the survey. Let me see, I don't even know what's going on here. So we had the survey and a bunch of other, bullshit. I added it up the other day. $6,200 is what we're going to make. And so here's the deal. Quite frankly, if I would have held on to this deal probably another 6 months, I could have demoed and sold these lots off individually and made more money. But opportunity cost and velocity of money is really important to me. And so when I'm looking at making a decision, this is the whole point of this video here. When I'm looking at making a decision, I'm thinking, what's my opportunity cost versus if I sell it or I keep it? And what's the velocity of the money? If I sell this and I'm not making $28,000, but if I can put $28,000 back in my pocket, I now know right now I'm doubling every dollar that I put into real estate within 120 days. So I know that I can turn this 28,000 into at least, I didn't go to college, what, 50,000, whatever it is. I can double my money if I just go buy another deal or a couple more deals. And so for me, I'm getting ready to buy something larger, either larger multifamily, another industrial space, another retail space, because I need what's called cost segregation, which I'll do a video about. And so for me, it's like, okay, I can continue holding on to this and I will make money at some point. If you hold for a long enough time frame, you're gonna make money. I could hold this for a decade. It's not gonna hurt me. I can pay the couple $100 a month in holding cost, or I can just sell the deal because it's not making me any money right now, and I go move it into the next deal, opportunity cost. And in this case, you know, for me, I'm like, we're just gonna sell it, move it into another deal. I wanna take this 28,000. I can buy a lot of real estate with 28,000. I can buy 300,000 in real estate roughly, that I can probably create 200 to 250,000 in equity. And so when I'm thinking about, okay, let's say I hold this property, here's like the two scenarios. Hold this property and maybe get 100 grand out of all these lots going into next year once they lift the moratorium on the multifamily, allow multifamily here, and once the market gets a little bit better than it is right now. So I can make an extra 35,000. That's pretty damn good. Or I can take this 28,000, go buy 300,000 in real estate, and go make 200,000 on that real estate in equity, or if I just sell the properties. And so for me, velocity of money is super important. My velocity of money is a lot quicker if I just take the money now, make my 6 grand, whatever, take most of my money out of the deal and just move on. And so that's what we're gonna do in this case. There's no right or wrong when it comes to real estate. Somebody else may wanna hold this, and these lots may be worth 250,000 in a couple years, I don't know. Why are you so close? You goon. But for me, we're just gonna sell it and move on. I'm not beat up about it. I'm actually happy. I can close this chapter. I feel like I've been on this property for long enough. Like I said, I still own the properties up the street. We actually just put that little house in between the two white houses, we put that little house under contract. If we ran up the street, we've got some other properties up there as well. And so, long story short, I make these videos for you guys. It's hot out, y'all. Camera overheated, again, keeps overheating on us. But anyways, I make these videos, like I said, just to kind of show you guys how you can play it right. You can buy a deal right, and then you can get fucked. Like the city in this case, they put a moratorium on multifamily. If they wouldn't have put a moratorium on multifamily, I could have sold that. I had offers for $75,000 a year and a half ago. So in hindsight, probably should have taken the $75,000 offer. But I knew at that point it was too low because of the moratorium. Now, it's not too low because you can't build multifamily on the lots. And so for me, I'm not beat up about it. We got plenty of other projects. We've got 3 other deals closing this week we're gonna make 70 grand on. And so for me, it's like, it just is what it is. You know, you can't be that bent out of shape. As long as you're not losing money, that's the most important piece. So hope that adds a little bit of value. If you guys can, drop me a like, drop me a subscribe, drop me a comment. It's good for the algorithm. Catch you guys later.